So tomorrow's quiz is on lessons 4.1 to 4.3. The quiz will have 15 questions. The first question, or the first two questions, first two questions are going to be to write the expression in exponential form. So example, you could have something that's like 2x, x, x, 3x, y, y, y. So I'll give you an expression like this, and I'm going to want you to turn it into exponential form. So notice I'm going to multiply my coefficients, and then I'm going to go back and count how many x's I have. And I have 3 x's. Put another y here just so I get a different number. So then I'm going to count my x's, and there are 3 of them, so x to the third power. And I'm sorry? Oh, there's another one, thank you. So then there's one more here that I didn't see next to the 3. So that would be x to the 4th. And let me add another y then so I get a different number. So then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are 5 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you would write y to the 5th. So you will have two questions like this where you're going to turn the expression into exponential form. Then you're going to have 2 questions. This is all still from the exponent lesson. So questions 3 and 4. This is where I'm going to give you something raised to a power, and I'm going to ask you to evaluate it. So for example, if I said, what is 4 to the 2nd power? You should know that that means 4 times 4, not 4 times 2. And you will tell me that 4 times 4 equals 16. You will also have to do some, you're going to have 2 of these. So you might get another question and it might say, do 4 to the 1st power, which means 4. You might get negative 4 to the 2nd power and realize that that's going to be negative and then 4 times 4, because this exponent of 2 is only on the 4. So when I multiply this, I actually get negative 16. However, if your number is in a parentheses and it's squared, this really looks like negative 4 times negative 4, which gives you positive 16. Know the difference. God bless you. Then you're also going to get 2 questions where you're going to have to follow order of operations. And the problem is going to have exponents in it. So 5 and 6, you're going to have to evaluate following PEMDAS. So I'm going to evaluate what's in the bracket. So 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And then negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 gives me negative 8. And then negative 1 to the 3rd power is also just negative 1. So now I'm put the brackets back. I could go ahead and evaluate the 3 squared. So now I have to add all of my numbers in the bracket. So 27 plus negative 8 is going to give me 19 plus negative 1 divided by 9. And then I'm going to do 19 plus negative 1, and I get 18. And then now I can divide by 9, finally giving me an answer of 2. So you're going to have 2 questions like this where you're going to have to simplify following order of operations. The next 2 questions are coming from last night's homework. It's the adding and subtracting problems. And again, I'm going to present them with 2 parentheses. So for example, you might get one that's 2x minus 5y plus 2. And then in the second parenthesis, 5x plus 6y minus 7. When you're adding polynomials, all you're doing is looking to combine like terms. So I'm going to add the x's, and I get 7x. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to add the y's. Negative 5 plus 6 will give me plus y. And then I'm going to go back and add my constants, and 2 minus 7 is negative 5. When it's a subtraction problem, I'll just give you a real simple one. 2x minus 5 minus x minus 2. My recommendations when you see two polynomials being subtracted is what you're going to do is you're going to change this subtraction sign in between there to a plus sign, and then make all of the signs in the second parenthesis opposite. And now just treat it as if it's an addition problem. Add the x's. 2x plus negative 1x is just x, and negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So that's how you'll do the subtraction. So you'll have one of each. Then you're also going to get a question where it's like the bottom of last night's homework, like numbers 46 through 56, where it says to solve. So I'll give you one of those. So for example, if I said 7x, let me do this in a darker color, 7x minus 3 minus 2 equals 10. You're going to first distribute this subtraction sign. So this becomes 7x minus 3x plus 2. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. Move the 2. Divide by 4. And x equals 2. Now, in the homework we just checked, remember I pointed out numbers 55 and 56. 55, even though you didn't have to do it, that would have been a no solution answer when you solve it. 56 was all real numbers. Remember, these could be answers on the quiz tomorrow. So just remember, you can have a no solution and an all real numbers answer. Then the last 5 questions come from the multiplication homework that you're going to do now. So 11 through 15 are going to say simplify. However, what we're doing here is multiplying. So for example, if I give you x to the 4th times x to the 5th, you know that you're going to take those exponents and add them, and it becomes x to the 9th. You might even have some that'll have a coefficient in front. So maybe instead it might be 2x squared times negative 9x to the 5th. You'll multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. You may even have an extra letter in there, a y or a z. Just know you will add the exponent. So like for example, if I have negative 2xy times negative 10 x squared y to the 3rd, you're going to go back and multiply the coefficients again, negative 2 and negative 10. Add the exponents. Remember this y, this x and this y have a 1. So it'd become x to the 3rd, y to the 4th. So use your rules for integers. You'll also have some multiplication, and you'll have to figure out like 5 to the 2nd times 5 to the 3rd. And you're going to multiply and get, or just add the exponents and get 5 to the 5th power. I will let you know if you have to evaluate that tomorrow. I'm going to check with Mr. Saxon, and I'll let you know if you have to figure out or just leave it in exponential form. If we have to do this, we would do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. I could take them 2 at a time, or I could just go straight across, however you want to do them. 5 25 times 25, I know is 625. And then when I multiply it by 5 again, 10, 12, 1, 3,125. So more than likely you will have to evaluate that power, even if it's really large like that. So that is your quiz for tomorrow. 15 questions, no word problems, just basically all calculations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and evaluating exponents.